I'm now joined by Coach Jacob Spinn here of Sarasota Christian. We appreciate you being here. Players that are joining us today is number 13, Randall Collins, and number 1, Ben Milliken. I remember Ben from the last media days. Coach, tell me about, we won't speak much about last year because last year really doesn't have anything to do with this year in the coach speak. We don't want to get into coach speak. So let's just jump right ahead and let's talk about what's ahead of you, what's your objective this year.
Well, for us, certainly the one big change from last year to this year is we'll be an 11-man team instead of an 8-man team. So that is a change. We've got a lot of excitement, though, and growth with that. I think we're ready for that. Certainly be different. It's new. Everyone on our schedule is new for the most part. We have one other team. We'll open up with Old Plank, and they're coming from 8-man as well. So, but that's a new challenge. There's things we've never done before, like kickoffs. But for the most part, everything is still football, and we're still going to throw the ball around a whole lot. And I think we continue to be exceptional at the skill positions. We've had the same roster now for multiple years. This will be the first year we have ever had seniors that actually have played the game before. So, and we've got a good group of them, but the bulk of our team is still juniors and sophomores, and so we're still really young. But just as it's been a great group that love each other, a lot of trust, a lot of fun, just enjoying the experience. So we're excited to get after it in 11-man. Made a lot of different improvements and things, and stadium improvements and whatnot. So it's feeling like it's continuing to grow. So super excited about that. But ultimately our goal is what kind of men they become, and that's not going to change. So
I was, we just had St. Stephen's in here, and we were talking about their quarterback playing Canadian football and 12-man football. You guys are making the transition from 8 to 11. So St. Stephen's quarterback will be doing that from 12 to 11. Now Ben here has been playing 8. Now let's talk about Ben here, Ben Milliken. I'm sorry, but with Ben making that transition, I'm sure that he's been picking up a lot of rushing yards along with passing yards in the 8-man game. Is that right?
To be honest, Ben likes to throw the football. So if he can throw the football, he's going to throw the football. So, I think that in general, our scheme and the things we do they translate really well. So in 8-man, we're an empty team. In 11-man, we'll have 3 more blockers.
Okay. Sure.
We're used to that. We are used to seeing most of what we see in 8-man is man coverage and full out blitz, and we don't have enough to protect. So we're used to getting the ball out really quick. So I think there's a lot of things that in that transition are pretty smooth for us. I'm not too worried about that. We've been playing our whole existence. We've been going to 7-on-7 and doing that.
Oh yeah, sure.
So we're not new to seeing those coverages at all. And I think quite frankly, we're looking forward to seeing some zone because that's a little easier to deal with, in my opinion. So
great. Well, I have some questions for Ben.
Sure.
Hey Ben, obviously you're used to getting the things out, going on in the future. Now you're getting, air raid concepts, getting the ball out early, zone reads, those kind of things. You in playing in that lesser players on the team, you already get the ball out very quickly, right?
Yeah, very quickly.
So that's something as you progress down the line, you're looking at, college ball, those kind of things.
Yes,
you're looking at, you're going to have someone that gets the ball out. You don't have a choice.
No. It's that or you're sacked.
Yeah. So you don't have a long wind up. You've got that short, compact right now thing, and you're able to throw from different angles because now snap depth, do you take it at a pistol, 4 foot or 4 yards, or you go to kind of a shotgun depth?
Shotgun 5 yards is where I'm normally at.
Okay.
That's
So
where
you
I feel
guys
most comfortable.
Okay. So you're running like at 5-yard depth. Again, with that, you're getting the ball quicker. You have to be a little bit better athlete. The closer you get to the line of scrimmage and those snaps, that can be a nightmare if you don't have someone with good hands. You got big hands. I can see that. What's your favorite pass?
The post. I like a deep post. I like
Deep
throwing
post.
that. That's
All right.
definitely the favorite to throw.
All right. So what about like arm talent wise, you can the deep out. Let's say an 18-yard route out there, no problems whatsoever. Right?
No problems. No.
Okay. How far do you throw the ball?
Depends on the ball.
Let-
I'd say 50 to 55 probably.
Okay, so yeah, if you get that, and for me, it was a Wilson ball is just the easiest ball for me to throw. I think have you messed around and thrown a pro ball and a college ball?
I mean, sometimes our running back coach owns one, and he loves it, and he throws it at me, so I'll have to throw it around a little bit. But
Okay, don't get too used to that, accustomed to
No.
that. Okay,
No.
so now let's turn it over to number 13, Randall Collins. First of all, I have to give you props here, here for the bling, the 13 chain there. It's very sweet. Tell me what you're doing out there on the field.
So I'm like a H-back, kind of like a hybrid tight end receiver. So, I mean, I'll come into behind the line and help the line out whenever they need it and we run plays. And then I'm also on the D-line for the defensive side. Be like an edge rusher, the joker. So, I mean, I will drop into coverage sometimes, but also come rush the quarterback.
So some of your sets, are they like single wing concepts with an H-back? Or
Yeah, I wouldn't call it quite a single wing, but he's kind of set in the backfield.
Okay.
I think probably more like how the NFL uses the third tight end a lot of times in some of
Oh,
these.
okay. Yep.
So we insert him into protection, not often. He's mostly running routes. So.
All right. So I don't know if Andy, did you have any questions at all?
Sure. How's it going, Coach? Just last year, taking a look at kind of statistically, two capable passers with Ben and then Brock. Just kind of talk about that dynamic, having two guys on the team that are going to be able to, sling the rock on Friday nights.
Yeah. Justin filled in for Ben was hurt for a few games last year, and not that you ever want your starting quarterback to go down, but Justin is an incredibly talented athlete. Justin loves to be a wide receiver, so we don't really have a competition. Justin's doing what he loves. Justin probably needs to touch the ball 15 times a game, and he'll get it out of the backfield. He'll get it. He's fast. He's athletic. I would put Justin on par with anybody in the area as far as athleticism. So that's a huge weapon for us, and and I think you'll see us use both of them in different ways, certainly. And but for the most part, it's a nice insurance piece for sure. And but they're both, they get along great, and they have a great chemistry as quarterback wide receiver. So so we're excited about that. And have 2 years of both of them still. So,
and having a couple guys like that with great versatility, how much do you kind of emphasize that amongst the players of being guys that can be versatile like these two?
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the cool thing about small school football. We're a school at 200 kids. We got 50 football players, which is pretty good percentage.
That's pretty good.
But the reality is they've all got to learn to do everything, and they get to do everything. And this is my 23rd season, and I'll tell you one of the coolest things over the years has been actually taking the younger guys, to the JV games where we didn't matter what my roster was. We're going to play JV. We're going to play JV this year with some of our young guys, but you get out there, you got 15, 16 guys going to a JV game, and they're playing every position. They're learning and they're growing and they're having fun, and they're just it's like, hey, you want to play D-line tonight? You're talking to some little receiver, and he's like, sure. But it builds a toughness. It builds a knowledge of the game, and I would take a bunch of all around athletic kids every day. That's what I'd love to have. And it's just yes, no football team in all of America at any level has enough linemen. We're no different. But at the same point, I think we got linebackers that play O-line because we need them to, and they want to do what's best for the team, and that works, at our level.
And you said 23 seasons heading into this season. Is this 24th or 23rd?
This is the 23rd, going into the 23rd.
I mean, how do you feel heading into your 23rd season? I mean, because you see so much turnover throughout the Sunshine State. To see somebody do it at the longevity that you've done it, I mean, feel good, feel a little tired. I mean, how does Coach feel?
Well, I think I live in a perpetual state of fatigue. I have 5 kids of my own, so that adds to it. But Yeah, and not all 23 were here. But I believe probably one of the biggest and most important things in athletics. I also serve as athletic director, but is consistency in coaches. And honestly, the transition and the turmoil that's caused by coaches leaving and it's not good for kids. I think the best thing for a kid is to have the same coach all the way through and to be able to come back for homecoming 10 years later and hey, the same coaches are there. Like there's that stability that really has an impact in their life. You know, my high school coach is retired, but he still lives in the hometown where my parents live. I don't get there very often, but when I do, I go see Coach Odgers. And it has an impact on me and had an impact on me. And I think that's something that's kind of lost in athletics these days. Unfortunately, and I think that's a loss for all of us. Because I think if athletics isn't about growing young men and young women to be better people, in our case as a Christian school, to love Jesus and have an impact on their world, I'm not sure. If it's just about winning a game, I want to win. These guys want to win, don't get me wrong. We spend a lot of time trying to win. But our purpose is really bigger than that. And I think that's where I want to be on great teams. I want to have great teammates. I want to have relationships for the rest of my life. You know, I've played with some guys that were really good, helped us win that I didn't really get along with. You know, but that's what we want to be about.
Absolutely. And a question for Ben, real quick. Just Ben, obviously coming off the season where you had an injury and missed some time. Just the level of excitement getting ready to play and step out on the field, play a full season. Just where's that at for you?
It's the highest I think it's ever been. I mean, we're finally an 11-man, and I think, this probably might be the best group of guys we've had since I've been here. And I think, especially missing 2 months last year, I think it was hard to watch. So, I think coming back ready as ever, and I think it's pretty exciting to be back.
And to have it taken away, guys watching and kind of knowing like you're somebody that's a footballer, you love the gridiron, just getting a couple minutes taken away from you and then being able to return. Did it make you realize how much you really love the game?
Oh, for sure. I think it definitely was like an epitome of like, dang, like you can really lose it whenever, and like how like you really just want to play this, and at some point it is going to come to an end. So, you might as well make the most of it now.
Quick question. Expectations for this year. You talked about this is the best group that you've been with since you've been at Sarasota Christian. So what's the team goal for this year?
I think it's I think it's different because it's 11-man, so it's hard to know what to expect, but I think we can compete with anybody on our schedule. So it's win as many games as possible and just be successful, whatever that looks like.
Yeah, I would echo that. There's just an uncertainty. Like we scrimmaged against ODA, so we have in the spring, so we have some bearing, and they were a good, solid football team. So it wasn't, we have a scrimmage tonight versus Canterbury Fort Myers, so we'll learn a lot, and we'll see. But there's certainly a lot of unknown, but I do believe that's for sure. I think we can certainly compete with anybody that's on our schedule and feel pretty good about that. And that's what it's about. The opportunity to get out there and see how good we can be.
Coach, I had a statement for you. Listen, talking about there are greater things, more important things than football. And, listening to you here, and they said, coaching's obviously not about making money. It's about making men, and the way that these players, represent themselves in the school really is pretty much the ultimate goal. It's to that next level. What kind of human beings are you putting out when we talk about the student athletes out there? Of course, we're talking about being sponsored today by the school district of Manatee County, the health, the welfare, and how's it going for the guys? What's the plan? You obviously have two young men here that are going to do something, and they're going places in the future, and the culture there, and you being there as a long-term coach. I think those things are kind of self-evident the way that you carry yourself here today. Yeah. So, congratulations on that, and we're going to have to wrap this segment up and bring in the next team. But we thank you so much, Sarasota Christian Academy here, Jacob Spin, and players. Awesome job, guys, and we'll see you around the corner. Have a great season.
Thank you.